guys, what's good? Today, I wanted to just drive and talk about my plan to how I'm going to become rich, because there's no way I can accept living mediocre for the rest of my life. And I just felt like this point of view driving was the perfect way to talk about this, because the car I'm driving is actually the start of the story. So before this car, very few of you may have known, I drove a BMW 3 Series. Nothing super crazy, but it was super luxury, and it made me look like I had money because I was falling victim of a lifestyle inflation, which I don't actually care about, because I'm not one that cares about looking rich. I want to actually become rich. So paying monthly and letting the bank own your vehicle is probably, and not to say sound like Dave Ramsey, but it's one of the quickest ways to really repent on getting rich, because you're paying the bank every month to drive a car, and that's not even including any maintenance and all the gas you have to put in it, especially BMW 2, higher maintenance, and you got to put premium fuel in it. So I was spending $700 plus a month just to own the car with insurance and the car note, because insurance on those are super expensive as well. So that was the first thing I had to get rid of. I got rid of the BMW and got myself a good old Honda. It's a Civic Si, so I can still have the fun without hating my life, because I feel like if you're a car guy in any way, you should still enjoy what you drive, because if you live miserable every day, then money's not going to really, I don't know, it all depends on what you value. I value having fun when I drive, so this car was the perfect way. Paid cash for it, and I can still have a ton of fun. I actually ended up finding that I have more fun in this car than I do my BMW, probably because it has a manual transmission. But with that being said, that was the first thing I did. And obviously there's exceptions to that rule if you monetize the vehicle you drive. So if you're making content around the videos and actually making money from it, then that's definitely different. Now the next thing is having a side income. It doesn't even have to be a lot, but just any sort of side income that doesn't come from your job, because you should 100% be working a job if you're not making crazy money from your side income. But anything that you can do for a few hours a day that you really, really enjoy. Think about something that you love super, super much, and you can do it every single day, and you would love to get paid for doing that thing. Then figure out a way to monetize that, because you're going to do that thing anyway. So if you can monetize it, then obviously that's a great start. So monetize that, have a side income. And then the next thing, once you've gotten that out of the way, is you have to live frugally, which goes into getting rid of the fancy car and not having a car payment. Learn to cook for yourself. That's the biggest way a lot of people could save a lot of money. If you go to the store and just buy your own groceries, and it'd be a lot healthier for you as well, you will save so much money. So let that be the first thing you do. And even if you're super young, get on it as soon as you can. Learn how to cook. It's not hard. Just throw a bunch of ingredients together. You watch YouTube for everything else, so watch YouTube videos how to cook. And that's the next thing. Once you've saved up a very large chunk of change, whatever you might consider it that, but a good chunk of change, I'm immediately going to invest all of my money into real estate. And what I'm doing is something what people call house hacking. So I'm gonna get a duplex, not a super pretty one, but a duplex that has a foundation that is good enough to live in. I'm gonna live in one side and I'm gonna rent out the other side. So practically I'm gonna be living for free, and I'll have the mortgage paid for me. And then eventually once I move out, that house will pay itself and some. So I'll be having monthly income through that. And then just building an entire empire. Doesn't it sound so cool to have a whole empire of real estate? That's what I want, and that's what I'm gonna do. So that's the long-term vision for becoming wealthy, is really, I don't know what the percentage is, but they did a study, and like a very large percent of millionaires either got rich through real estate or have a bunch of real estate now. So it's not a secret that you can make a lot of money with real estate, and you should, because it's probably one of the easiest ways. You don't have to be smart. You just gotta be smart at first with your money, and then it's a piece of cake from there. So eventually, once I live in the duplex long enough, I'll eventually move out and just kind of keep repeating that process. Maybe not with duplexes, but just rental properties, because I would love to have a bunch of rental properties and build my portfolio. And that's a pretty simple video on how I'm gonna get rich. If you would like more videos like this where I just go for a drive and get in a deep talk, I absolutely could do this consistently. It goes back to what I was saying, building a side hustle around something you do every day. I drive so much that I might as well do something while I drive, so I could definitely do this for you guys if you enjoyed. Let me know down below any ideas you might have, or how you plan to get rich if it's a different way. I would love to hear all of that. Any comments, feel free to leave them below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.